Alright, well hello everybody. Thank you for joining us. This is our third video with DLPS Video Project. I am Jess of Darklight Portrait Studios. Tony will be joining us in just a minute. He is running around. He's our tech guy. So he's going to be in and out. If anybody on Instagram... there he is. So today we are here with Miss Sabi. I'm going to let her introduce herself in just a minute. She is an aspiring model here in Tampa. So we're going to pick her brain today about some information about becoming a model and kind of the steps that she's gone through and some of the people that she's worked with, and we're just going to talk about a whole lot of different things. So in answer to Marie's question about what is the topic, it's beginning modeling, but we're hopefully going to come up with some information for people who want to become a model, some steps that they could take, maybe learn from some of Sabi's mistakes. Or good things that has happened to her, like meeting us. Just kidding. So we're going to cover a whole bunch of stuff. But yeah, and if anybody has any questions, feel free to type them out and we will try to answer them as best we can. I just said out like I'm from Minnesota. Type them out. So, yeah, so tell us about you.
Hi y'all, I am Sabi Sweets.
Loud.
Oh, I don't know if y'all could hear me. If y'all didn't hear me, I'm Sabi Sweets, okay? I go by That One Goddess on Instagram and most of my socials, really. And I've been modeling, like, amateur since I was, like, 16. Really from birth, you know, taking pictures.
Wow.
Really, yeah, my mom would, like, prop me up after church and stuff and have me pose, vogue, you know, and but I got started when my friend and was in a photography class in college, and he was like, hey, come model, and that was just like the beginning of like the journey, really. And we would have photo shoots. It opened my eyes up to my love for creative design and creative directing. So I would come up with the outfit, location, and he would have the camera. So I've been doing that since I was 16. I'm 23 now. I just turned 23 this year. And now I want to see how I can do this more professionally. So I would still count myself as a beginner, although I've still been working and collabing locally with photographers, brands, and different models too.
So we actually, we met Sabi this spring.
Yeah, it was actually this year.
This spring, oh my god.
It's felt like 2 years in one, right?
It's so long. We actually partner up with a non-profit group here in Tampa called Hands of Hope Sickle Cell Awareness Foundation, and they had a no, it was last fall.
It was a model casting.
It was January. They had a model casting for Hands of Hope. Yeah, it was January.
Yeah, this year.
Yeah, I was thinking fall, but it was January.
Yeah.
Sorry. Anyway, they had a model casting in January for their fashion show. They do a fundraiser fashion show each year in March, and Sabi was there. She was going to be one of the models in the show. She was going to walk and do the whole runway thing. Yeah. And we actually met her the first day, and she came in and she had her heels with her the way a model would have. Little did she know that we were a little less formal than that. And it was basically like, oh, you're here, you want to be in it, you're willing to do it, yay!
Yeah, I was like, you're in it. Yeah.
Yay!
Like, oh,
good
cool.
job! As long as you can walk
for effort.
or not walk, we don't care. Unfortunately, that got canceled because of coronavirus, and so she was unable to do that. But I scooped her up at that meeting, and I was like, we're going to be friends now, and... you're going to come model with us and we're going to do stuff together and it's going to be fun. And she hasn't been really able to get rid of us since then. No. So,
happily.
So tell us a little bit about how you found that opportunity.
Oh, Instagram. I love Instagram for networking. People sometimes get a little afraid of things online, but if you know how to navigate like friend versus foe, then you can kind of find safe spaces. Mm-hmm. And this one popped up as I was scrolling because as many people know, there's an algorithm, and I make sure I flood mine with things that I want to find. So I found something with modeling and it just popped up. It was like casting call. Oh, excuse me. I remembered it incorrectly. A mutual follower posted it. her mom. So honestly, this was just, I guess, God. I found it because her mom was in the fashion show too. And she posted it, and I just watched her story that day, and I screenshotted it, and I was like, I'm going. And it said it was at a church, so I was like, I doubt I'll get kidnapped there, you know?
Oh my God, the last interview we did, they said the same thing about getting kidnapped at church.
Oh my God, wow, you see? Church is an amazing place. Praise the Lord, you know? Wow, yeah, that's so good. I'm glad I remembered that correctly now. So yeah, I was like, all right, so I saved the date, and I was there on time, before time, and I was like one of the first people there, and I was nervous, really nervous. I was like, how's this gonna go? And then I met you guys, and it was awesome.
You looked a little nervous. You were like, I'm just here.
She was very quiet. She kind of sat towards the back, and the lady, the founder of Hands of Hope, kept getting her name wrong. And so, yeah, but she actually, truthfully, she actually came to the casting, and she brought a comp card. For those of you who don't know what a comp card is, it's basically a picture resume, we'll say. Marie, if you're still watching, Marie knows what they are. We just did one for her recently. But it basically has it has some pictures of you on it. It has your information. Nowadays, some people do them in print to bring to modeling agencies and whatnot. Some people have them digital, so that they can send them to requests and that kind of stuff. Sabi actually had one in print with her. I actually have one. I guess she had more than one, or maybe that was the only one.
I think I gave you one.
Yeah, I have one.
Oh.
I do have one. And that's how I contacted her later, was because I said, hey, you know, we really want to be able to work with you in the future and all that kind of stuff. And she was more than willing, which is always awesome. So it's always fun to find people who will collaborate and like are excited to go out and do stuff. So we love that. Tell us a little bit about because you guys did a bunch of rehearsals for that fashion show.
Yeah.
How did that go?
It was going good. We were really making progress, working up to it, working on our like spins and turns, really, because you know there was like a lot of pizzazz. We were working with Rara, the designer. She's a local designer here in Tampa, and she got pizzazz and swag. So it was going to be a really cool fashion show, and I was so excited. And things really came to a halt when after we remember guys, we did the headshots.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
So after that, it was kind of like, I think that was in February.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, and that's when everything quarantined down. So.
Yep. Yeah, Tampa went on lockdown on March 17th, which was St. Patrick's Day.
Oh wow.
And I know, that's why I remember it was because of St. Patrick's Day. Yeah, and so all of that got canceled. So
quickly.
It was disappointing. We actually would have photographed it. That would be our third year photographing it.
Mm-hmm.
So we were looking forward to photographing it, and of course helping Hands of Hope raise money that way. And Sabi didn't get to walk.
Yeah.
So when you went in, because I know that for that show, some of the girls that work with Miss Rara, they've worked with her for years. They've been in that show multiple times. They've been in her shows. So you're going in as like a new person.
Yeah.
What is some stuff that you learned from the people who were there that you didn't know before? Like if you can think of one thing you were like, holy cow, I didn't know this.
Okay, yeah, they were so kind. All the ladies, they were so willing to help and teach new things. What I learned was kind of like, I mean, it's kind of repetitive, but it's really key. Confidence, 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 you know? Just really hold yourself up.
Excuse me.
Really finish strong in a walk, like really like not be afraid when you're walking or just displaying yourself as a model.
Okay, so confidence is key, not only in modeling but also in dating and in life in general. So confidence.
You want a mess?
You might want to say it louder so the people in the back can hear.
Confidence, confidence. Listen.
Be confident.
Right.
Yes, absolutely. So when you were doing that, the rehearsals for that show, what were you most looking forward to?
I was looking forward to, of course, the main event. Oh, and the fitting and picking out a dress, because I just love clothes. I was really looking forward to that, and I wanted to be there on time and get first pick. I was looking forward to, like, of course, the big show, like I said. It was going to be at USF, so it was going to be really huge. But also getting the experience, that's really what I was really wanting that to be on my resume, because the more well-rounded you are as a model is better, you know? Because I'm into high fat, commercial, print, editorial, and runway too, even though I'm petite. So I would have really liked the experience. So.
Yeah.
And we were also going to do the MLK parade too.
Yep.
I was going to be in that. I was going to be on a float.
Were you going to be rocking
Yeah.
a big outfit there?
It's going to be throwing memes.
Thank you, coronavirus. Yeah, we actually gave them, like, I gave them a whole huge bag of beads because we had been to so many stuff. Like, what do we do with these beads? Well, let other people use them. Yeah. So, so obviously that got canceled. Pretty much everything has been canceled for this year. After that didn't happen, we actually went in March to shoot, I think. On the TV right here, the pictures that are on the left and the right, those were taken in Seffner, Florida. And those were done in March, right at the beginning of the whole coronavirus lockdown thing.
Yeah.
Because we were debating, we're like, should we go, should we not go? And then we're like, you know what, we're just gonna go, we're gonna be outside, it'll be fine. So as you can see, we did some stuff outside, and we had a blast. We had such a good time that day. It was literally all day. I had a couple photos that I wanted to do that we couldn't do because there was an area that I wanted to go to that was quarantined off. You couldn't sit down, and I was sad, but we're still gonna do that.
Yeah.
This one up here is still good. But we went to some places. Obviously, we're not gonna tell you all of our secret locations. But I will tell you, we were in Seffner. We had a conversation with Marie about how people are like, oh, you can't know my locations.
Oh, I didn't know that was a thing.
Oh, it's definitely a thing.
It gets political in the model world.
So we went and we did those, and we have a lot of other pictures from that day. But you changed outfits at least 3 times?
No, 4. I counted.
4 times?
Because we did the train.
Oh yeah, with the tree.
My location.
No, you can say that.
Okay, yeah.
But we did like a lot because you had 3 of Sam's dresses, and then these 2. We did a lot of locations.
We did at least 5.
Yeah.
At least
and
5.
We also that day we collaborated with Sam Miner, who also lives over in that area. She's a designer, and so hi Sam. We've worked with her as well. She's a designer and also a makeup artist. And so that's actually one of her dresses, the black dress.
Yep, the black dress on the end.
Yep, the black dress on that end is one of Sam's designs. So we collaborated with her, and we were able to do some pictures for her and for Sabi at the same time. And for us to do these, we just went out and had fun. We just had a good time.
Yeah.
We ate checkers for lunch in a picnic table in a gazebo. Like, we had fun.
At a park.
At a park.
Right.
We hiked out to the woods.
Yeah, it was a
we were
great
everywhere.
day. It was a great day. It was like really chill.
It was, and it wasn't hot yet, so it really was nice. And we love to do stuff like that. So if you're an aspiring model and you're looking to get pictures for your portfolio, and you just want to go out and shoot and have fun and try some stuff, hit us up. We're happy to go out and do that at any time if we're not busy. We did those 2 pictures, and we obviously did a lot of other pictures. Now I know that you work with, I can't think of his name, starts with a K. Casey.
Yeah.
Is that your college photography
Yeah,
person?
he's the one who kind of like, I'm always thankful to him. It's like, you really like launched this off. And even one day he was like, one day, you're not just gonna only shoot with me, you know that, right? And I was like, what? Oh, and now I'm like, later. I'm like, I got this, don't you know? Oh, no.
Sorry, Casey.
No, it's good to be, like I said, well-rounded, have different people in your network, but always have your mains,
Family.
But yeah, no, Casey, he's really good. I don't know if he's back up and running again. He was mentioning how he wants to kind of do something again for nostalgia sake. But he's good. We started locally in Brandon. That's where this kind of got started. And then we would do shoots in Ybor, downtown, because he went to UT. So yeah, and then he took the photography course at HCC. So yeah. I guess that's how he got his start doing photography.
Nice.
Yeah.
So you've worked with him, you've worked with us, you worked with a few other people. What's something that photographers do that you find really helpful?
Okay.
Especially as a beginning model. Sorry to interrupt.
Okay, sorry, I didn't know you had more. Sorry to cut you off. But what I love that a photographer does, and you guys do this a lot too, pointers, because it's hilarious how you can think, how you look in your head sometimes, and sometimes you nail it, you know? But if I don't look as good as I think, say something.
We never do we?
You see, I got a cockeye going that way. Like, don't just be all like, click, all right, you know, say something.
Need you to straighten that eye.
Look at me with both eyes.
You're doing the chameleon thing. Like, yeah, say something, yeah. So that, of course, being respectful, respect, that's always key. Professionalism, I like when somebody's on time. Some people tell me I'm bossy, and that's fine, that's good. I understand leaving late, but getting there early is important, so we can kind of like set up, have a game plan and stuff like we did last time. We did that in shoot. But I like someone who's focused, someone who's communicative.
Okay.
Kind of like I said before.
Do you think that it's helpful, for instance, we find ourselves doing this because way back, forever ago when we were in photography school, one of the, so long ago, one of the things that they told us was, let the person who you're shooting, let them see a picture here and there so that they can kind of see what they're doing,
Right.
but also just give them encouragement because especially with people who are fairly new to modeling or even just to taking pictures, being in front of the camera can be really scary. I'm a photographer. I don't like to be in front of the camera. When I get in front of the camera, I'm kind of like, and so I feel like it's good if we're like, you're doing great, you look great, your hair is on, whatever. But you don't want to just be like, take picture, and not say anything.
Yeah.
So do you feel like when somebody tells you, oh my god, you look so nice, it's awesome, does that like kind of get you hyped up a little bit? Or are you just like, yeah, I know?
Okay, no, because that's what I was saying. Like, I'm somebody, like, I know I wear shades a lot and people might think I'm stuck up. I'm not. I'm very like, oh, stop. You know, like if you're showering me with too much compliments, I can get a little like, okay, you're making me shy, you're making me blush. Compliments is one thing, like I like that here and there. I'm more so meaning like pointers, you know, like you know, we're really good with this, you know, when you be like, okay, move your arm like this, and you know, things like that, positioning. And I have a friend, she's a model too in Maryland. Hey Diana, I don't know if she'll see this, but she said the same thing. She's like, oh, I had a photographer and he wasn't saying anything and he wasn't giving me any pointers and I was just confused and I felt like he didn't like me, you know what I mean? It kind of makes the session weird.
Like the whole vibe is off.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. On a photography standpoint, and I promise you that we have seen this happen, we've actually been on shoots before with people who were modeling. They weren't models, but they were modeling. And I used to run a group, and there was one particular person in that group who would tell the model, go stand over there and just do something. And the person's like, and first of all, they're not a professional model. They're not even an amateur model. They're just a person that we know that was willing to come and get pictures taken. And they're literally standing there like, I have no idea what to do. No direction. Not even a look this way, put your hand. No, it was just stand over there and do something.
And you know what? And maybe that's what got me into creative directing, because working with my first photographer, Casey, he was just a student to photography, not being a photographer, and it's two different things. Now I'm learning. So I'd be like, oh, you gotta let me know, because we would have these pictures, we call them, I forget the word, but like, they would look so hilarious. And it's like, oh my gosh, why didn't you tell me I looked like this? So from then, I guess that's when I kind of had to compensate, you know? And that's when I got into creative directing more, like, background do I want? What look, what vibe, what energy, you know? And then that's something models really want to keep in mind too, because you don't want to be modeling a lollipop going, you know, like,
Sexy lollipop.
yeah, like, you don't know, the vibe is bubbly here, you know, you know, let's do that, let's do that. So there's a lot of things to kind of piece together. Like, even if you're wearing a drapey, sensual outfit, you want to kind of reflect that in your look too. It all meshes together.
Gotta think of the style.
And what you're trying to say in the picture. Yeah, it's all about what you're trying to say, because it all has to match, or else it looks weird.
Yeah, it's art, it's a message.
Yeah.
Like even this one in the middle there, like to me, I feel like it's like deep in art and stuff, because it looks like some kind of transformative thing happening, like some kind of change.
Yay, dollar store.
Yes.
Not gonna lie, I made that the morning or the afternoon before she got here.
Yeah, shout out Jess with the prop. She's so good with that. She's so good with that.
I like to make stuff. So the picture here in the middle with the collar thing, we actually did that, what, like 3 weeks ago? 3 or 4 weeks ago?
That was recent.
Yeah, it was new. We actually haven't edited most of those pictures. Matter of fact, I think that's the only picture that's been edited, just because we've been doing other stuff. But we, that was Sabi's first in-studio session.
Like ever.
And when I say in studio, I mean in our living room, but we have studio lights and the whole 9 yard setup. So in studio, technically, what do you feel like the difference is between doing stuff in studio and doing stuff on location?
Oh, huge difference, huge difference. I said like a few seconds ago, that was my first ever. When we had, like the way we had it set up with like lights, filters and all of that, it's definitely more controlled. It's more controlled in like a better way, like temperature for one.
Right.
That's the best one, because I'm always doing like a nature shot, so I'm always getting hot out there, and you're not sweating. You could control the lighting better. I'm sure that's good for you guys, right?
It helps.
Yeah.
You can control lighting outside, but yeah.
Yeah, it's different inside, but with the colors too. Well, we did a color one outside too with the blue. That was really cool.
Got skills.
Yeah, really. But I like it indoor. It gives you more time. Oh, a really good plus too with indoor. If you need to touch up on your makeup and wardrobe, it's all there. You know?
It is definitely, that's definitely easier to be able to just have a big mirror instead of having to do it in the car mirror.
Yeah, or like changing in a little tent.
In the tent.
Or a car. Yeah. Plus.
Yes. Yeah. Yep. I feel like for us, we actually don't do a lot of in-studio stuff. We do a lot of on location. The reason for that is because we don't have a brick and mortar location, so we have to find indoor locations. Now we do have some indoor locations options for us. However, we have to pay for them, and if we're just having fun and we're just, playing around and there's no money exchanging hands, then it's just like, oh, we have to go pay for this spot. So a lot of times we'll just literally clean everything out of the living room and use our apartment, which isn't the biggest area, but it works. I mean, you don't need a huge space to get that picture.
Yeah, no.
You really don't.
That was amazing.
And we had a lot of fun that day. You changed clothes a bunch of times. We did a bunch of different stuff. It's all gravy.
Yeah.
So.
I would say use what you got, do what you know, start there,
Yes, absolutely. We, like I mentioned the dollar store thing that I made for Sabi for that collar, and I told Tony, and I may have to patent this line, but I said creativity is born out of poverty.
Haha.
Yes, because if you think about it, like if you don't have any money, you're going to use what you've got, and you're going to create stuff. And I think back to like Tupac talking about how his mom made Thanksgiving dinner and she didn't have any money to buy anything, but you do. So when you don't have the money to buy stuff or to go out and buy the latest and greatest or all this stuff, you find what you can find and you make cool stuff. And sometimes you can get stuff that looks cool and doesn't look like it came from the dollar store. So it's just it's like a challenge to just be able to go out there and make something.
It's fun.
It is. It's a good time.
It's fun. Like how we're talking about getting into cosplay soon. I would just imagine how much bargain hunting. Wow, it's really gonna be on and popping.
Right. Thrift stores better watch out.
Talk to Marie, she's the self-proclaimed thrift queen.
Oh, yes.
Marie's got an awesome jacket that she got from a thrift store that we've still, I want to shoot it so bad. Like, she has the whole outfit and I'm so ready. We just haven't done it yet, but yeah, it's gonna be fun.
She should come with me to Suncoast thrift store. I love that place. I love that place in Brandon.
You hear that, Marie?
Yeah, I was like, call me, girl. Call me.
Shout out to Suncoast Thrift Store. We have to go over there. We have like just a whole bag of dresses and outfits and clothes that we've picked up around places just in case people need stuff. So we're like, yeah, whatever, we'll do it. So actually, so tell us. We've kind of touched with Marie in the past. We've touched on model safety, which is a huge thing. And I know you have especially one. Maybe well, I'm sure you have more than one. But you have one story that you've told us in the past that I keep thinking about. But tell us probably your worst, like, heebie-jeebie, I got the creeps, I need to get out of this situation type thing.
Were you talking about the one where when I was like offering to model for this woman's boutique?
I don't remember. I don't know.
Oh, this one's like super dark. Disclaimer, disclaimer.
Make sure to talk loud. Yeah. So remember, before we get into this, remember what we said. We've said this 100 times. Trust your gut instincts. If something feels off, go. Get the hell out. Go with your gut. If you can, bring a friend. You'll notice that Sabi doesn't have a friend with her today, but she knows us. She's been here before. We always encourage people, bring a friend, bring a boyfriend, a husband, your best friend, your mom, whoever. Bring somebody with you. And if for some reason you don't want to bring a friend, at the very least tell someone where you're going to be.
Yes.
At the very least.
Drop a location.
If you call a photographer and you say, can I bring someone with me, and they say no,
the only time
They're
I'll
not
do
the
it alone,
photographer for you.
Right. The only time I'll go alone if we're like you said, on location, out in the open, people can see us.
yes. And on location, like, on location, not on location in the woods.
Yeah.
On location where there's people around.
People can see us. Keywords. People can see us.
Yes.
Okay. Like,
Yes.
well, so it can be like stranger danger.
Right.
You know, but this one was different. I was doing Uber and Lyft at the time, and you know, you gotta read the signs in life. I didn't read the street sign was Nebraska, and I hope I say this appropriately and like in a way that people can understand. So fast forward, I got a ride for this woman. It was like a recording studio in the back, but I saw a boutique in the front, and there was like this amazing dress, and I was like, wow, do you need models, you know, to help promote your business, you know, do advertising and things like that? Working a deal. And she's like, oh yeah, I'm Haitian too, blah blah blah. So I was like, oh, you know, she must be nice. No. She's like, okay, so she gets me into these like raunchy Fashion Nova lingerie, and I'm like, I'm not a lingerie model or swimsuit specifically for this reason here. And I don't know if people know about the street in Nebraska. If you're from Tampa, you ought to know about Nebraska. So yeah, she was telling me after the photo shoot, and it was really raunchy too. It wasn't like how we do, like we said, a location, a background. It wasn't like that. So I was like, like you said, trust the gut, right? You know, the gut started talking. And she was like, oh, I want to give you another opportunity to live in a house with 6 other girls. Right. It just went hardcore, hard left. And pretty much, long story short, they were trying to traffic me. And if I didn't use my head and really was like, like I instantly in that instant, I was scared. Because she was like, yeah, this guy, his name is Kane or something, but you gotta call him daddy. I was like,
there's rule number one.
I was like, don't even play with me. Don't do this. So I was like, well, I know these people have weapons and stuff, so I have to play this strategically to get out of this. Like, so I started praying in my heart. I was like, Jesus. So I was like, I don't want people, I know not everybody believe in God. I heard like he was instructing me what to do. He was like, don't stop smiling. I was like, oh. It was, now I'm like looking back, it's funny, but it's not, because Florida's like a high.
Number 1.
Exactly, like we're like between 1 or 3, but I think it's 1. But for human trafficking, and so models really do have to be alert and beware. Don't be afraid to have a knife, a taser, pepper spray, a gun, licensed.
Yeah. Don't just be shooting random people.
Yeah, don't be like, I'm a thug. Like,
if some guy comes up and says, you should call me daddy, don't just shoot him.
Yeah, you will be wrong in the eyes of the law. But yeah, so like, I pretended like, yeah, I'll come back and, you know, we're gonna do this, you know, I'm down for this, we're gonna make more money, yeah. Then I came back and like, to give her back her clothes. And I had my sister with me that time, like you said, bring somebody. And I was like, yeah, I gotta drop my sister off somewhere, I'll be back.
Did you ever report them?
I know. Please tell me you did.
Ironically, I'm glad you said that. See, when you pray. Okay. I didn't even have to lift a finger because I drove by the other, like, a few weeks after, and like the whole thing was like raided in and shut down. So bad guys always get caught eventually.
Hopefully there wasn't a bunch of other girls living in a house being sex trafficked somewhere on Nebraska, but
yeah, they had me pick up these 2 other girls, and I don't know what became of them. They already had more trust in them, so I'm like, if I said something, they would have whooped me, you know what I'm saying? So I was like, let me just live my life in dignity. And yeah, I've been through some things. Yeah, so as a model, like it's a courageous job. Like I know some people think it's easy.
yeah, so people think that models that they don't eat, that they're not smart, that they're just, you know, whatever. I think a lot of people also feel that models are you're just there. You're a clothes hanger. You're there to make the clothes look good, which you are there to make the clothes look good, but you're also a person. And not everybody can be a model. Obviously, I can't just go up and be a model. You have to know.
We always go through this. Always.
We do.
Look,
we do.
comment below if you think Jess is gorgeous.
Don't comment below.
There are so many. Look, the world of modeling is changing. That's a great thing. That's why we're talking about stereotypes, which is great that this is coming up.
Anyway, moving on. But people think that models, they don't have to do anything. You just go, you show up, you put on some clothes, and you stand there. Well, I can tell you right now that if I get someone who tells me that they're a model as a photographer, and they're just standing there like, then I'll be like, great, we'll take a couple pictures, and then I think we got enough. We're good.
Yeah.
You know, there's no outfit changes. We're just like, thank you, move on.
Right.
And there's a lot more to modeling than that. And I think unless you're in the profession or you're in a profession that deals with models, you don't understand that. Because I'm not gonna lie, back in the day, way back in the early 2000s and all that, we used to watch America's Next Top Model. Gotta love some Tyra, right? Smizing and the booty.
What?
You gotta love Tyra.
A whole era.
Yes.
The booty tooch.
Tyra brought modeling to the common person.
True.
And back then, actually, and then once I knew Tony, we lived in 2 separate states, but we would watch it and I'd be like, did you see how America's Next Top Model? Like, we love to watch the fashion, the photo shoots. But they get girls on there that you don't, when you think model, you think like Cindy Crawford. Or, you know, the older, this is back in the day, but Cindy Crawford or Brooke Shields.
Naomi Campbell.
Yeah, yes, the 90s supermodel people.
Kate Moss.
Yes.
Yeah.
So you think about those people. Tyra brought it to where she was actually pulling girls for her show that didn't look anything like that. She had girls who were curvy. She had girls that you wouldn't think twice of when you see them on the street. And it's just like, holy cow. And then they put all this makeup on and bam, they're a model and they look fantastic. So it's really nice to see that people, if they really want to be a model, you can do this. You really can. You just have to work with the right people. And that's something that we want people to know. Like, you can take all the pictures in your backyard with your cell phone that you want to take, but if you want to become a for real model, you need to work with people who know what they're doing.
Right.
Get legit photos.
Yes.
Know your posing. Practice your posing.
Yes.
Learn your angles. Know what looks good on you. Don't always stick your hip out towards the front. Push it to the back a little.
Unless you want that booty to look big. Some of us do.
Gotta get that. Like thrusting in the picture.
Right?
Yeah.
Curled caterpillar. No. Perk up. Posture is key in pictures. Elongate.
Yeah.
And there's a difference between high fashion and catalog.
Yes.
Yeah.
There is. What would you consider yourself?
Catalog.
Yeah.
Right now.
We're gonna force her into high fashion.
I was gonna say, well, that's okay. So me, I feel like petite models have to have like a name or something to be into high fashion. Like, For example, when Cardi B was just coming up a little bit, they let her in a high fashion runway show because she's Cardi B. Like, and that's good, you know, kudos, that's great. But that's another thing in in life, your reputation really does precede you. Is that the word?
Proceed.
Precede. I was like, that doesn't feel right. Precedes you.
Precedes you.
Yes, yeah. So, I mean, I just don't know if I'm tall enough.
Girl, you gotta think tall and be tall.
True.
Have tall thoughts.
Yeah, tall thoughts. I'm Naomi. I'm Naomi.
That's right. Thinking tall thoughts.
But if they'd be like 5'10" on their own.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, yeah.
Without the hills.
Without, I'm saying like they're like walking giraffes. Like no, they're gorgeous.
Some of us are blessed.
You know, like you're so lucky. Just like wow, I'm gonna be like you when I grow up.
Get the stretcher.
Yeah. Pull me. I'm gonna be an Amazonian woman.
No, you don't, because when you're tall, and I'm 5'11".
Excuse me.
Yeah, I'm 5'11", and you have no idea how many times, like men especially, oh, you're like an Amazon. I'm like, oh yeah,
Oh my
thanks.
gosh.
I don't know if that's good. I've gotten to the point where I'm just like,
is.
all right, cool. But then at the same point, you're like, and you're 5'2", so why are you talking to me?
See? Yeah, like see, opposites attract.
No, they don't.
And get away, little man.
Yeah. So as a someone who's getting into the modeling game. If there was somebody out there that's watching right now that's like, I really want to do this and I really want to take some pictures, what advice would you give them for even getting started?
So definitely, like, to piggyback off what Tony was saying, because that was a good one. Like he was saying, legit pictures. You know, if you want to be legit, get legit. You know, those selfies will not cut it. Hate to say it. Even digitals don't look like that, really. Like, you can do it with the iPhone because iPhones have naturally a good quality. But I don't want to get into like tech debates here. But you know the bad phones. Don't use those phones for your digitals. Get your digitals. Hygiene. People think being a model that you have to be so dolled up, and that's actually the opposite. They want, and I see they as in agencies, people who are booking you, whether it's Tom Ford, like top-notch agencies or local people just collabing. They want to see you at your plainest, in your purest form. So have a skincare routine, eat right, exercise, take some supplements, collagen peptides. That's a little secret there, a little nugget. Write that down. Yeah, really, I know that sounds really cliche or like I'm trying to be your wellness counselor, but maybe I am. But it's true. You have to be healthy. You have to have energy. You don't want to be one of those models that is anorexic and dying out here. That's a real thing too. There's dangers in the business, but you can do this safe. You can do this professionally. You can get paid. I think the best thing to also do is to start small. Kind of like how I'm catalog right now, doing commercial. I feel like the reason why I want to do that way is because with commercial, you're constantly practicing your different face expressions. Mm-hmm. You may have to be sad, you may have to be angry, you may have to be happy or scared or nervous. And with commercial, you get more of that opportunity. And whenever at the point you're at high fashion, sometimes you do have to do a face like that and make it high fashion. But how would you be able to navigate that if you've never had the practice? So I like to, because at first I really was trying to take big steps, you know, when I was like 16 and stuff. I was like, wow, I can do this. I'm going to do this without knowing anything. Like, know your market, know your niche, know what type of model you are, know your division first, so then you can go from there. Like, if you have like that curvy, voluptuous body, maybe you got to do Fashion Nova type of work. You know, stuff more in LA, you know, your niche. Or if you're high fashion, New York, commercial, Florida. Like, I'm just blessed, you know, I'm blessed to just be here. If you're the swim, also here in Florida. So know these things because modeling is international. Like, people gotta think big here, you know. So that's a great way to start small. To piggyback what you're already saying, like know your angles and things.
Are you already in contact with other agencies that are outside of the Tampa market?
Well, no, not quite, because I'm still looking for, because mine's kind of different.
Mm-hmm.
I'm looking for talent agencies, and the only agency I'm aware of in our city is Ben's, and they say their minimum requirement of height is 5'7". Now I've heard that sometimes you can kind of like sneak in there. Yeah. Like, I fit just enough. Barely made it. Yeah, so I don't know. It's worth a shot, but I want to have all the, like, my best work to show. Because in the past, I thought my pictures were good till they started getting really great, and we started getting like really creative out the box, and I was like, whoa, this thing got cranked up. So I really want to be prepared when I submit.
I think to kind of go off what Sabi's saying, you need to think big. You really do, because the possibilities are endless. There's so many options for models. I mean, everything needs pictures. And that's the reality. You could be standing next to a boat and take a picture, or you could be doing a fashion show in Milan. You know what I mean? Everybody needs pictures. And everybody's not a high fashion model. I hate to break the news to you people. Some of you will never be a high fashion model, and that's okay. There's not a problem with that, because every industry needs pictures. So whether you're modeling, Gucci, or I don't
Rolex.
even know. Yeah, Rolex.
Or even a
wrist
auto
model.
parts.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Yeah, you can be a model for anything. So just because, don't say, oh, I have to be a high fashion model and that's the only way I'm going to make any money, because there's so many other options out there for people. And it's not even now, you don't even have to be 17. They have people who are older who are models. Mm-hmm. They have people in their 30s, their 40s, their 50s, and so on. So it's not like it's changed. There's still certain areas that are the same, but it's definitely changed a lot. If you don't weigh 110 pounds, that's okay. The body positive movement has happened. You can be a plus size model. You can be whatever you want to be. You can do it. And don't be looking at me like that.
Girl, say it loud. Remember these words now when I get that camera in your face.
But there's so many opportunities. You just have to just go for it. And I think also another thing, especially for beginners, is don't get discouraged.
That's a big one, because it happens. I'm glad you brought that up.
How many no's did you get before you got a yes?
Oh my gosh, so many. And I feel like the yes I'm waiting for, I've still yet to get it. You know what I'm saying? So it's all about being gritty and persevering, and having faith, and keep it, knowing that all the little jobs add up to the big jobs, because I'm big on energy and God and the cosmos. But it's true, because it's all that accumulates. It's kind of like 100 pennies, eventually you got $1, all right? So I know eventually I'll get what the right booking is for me, because if I was saying yes, I could be saying yes to the wrong thing, to something that's not safe. So what's for me, the good job, is going to take a while, because good things do take time.
Yes.
All those no's were quick. All those bad things were quick.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And they say, nothing worth having comes easy. So
yeah,
don't be scared to put in the work.
So don't get discouraged. Don't compare yourself to other people and their progress, because everyone's story is different. And I do constantly have to remind myself, I'm blessed to be alive and a model in this time, because you were saying, so many stereotypes. In my early days in high school, so many dreams started to fade, because I was overweight and dealing with mental health issues and stuff. I was like, ugh, it could never happen. And you just start thinking worse. And then now it's kind of hey, you see this person, they're plus size, or they're disabled, they're what's the word? They have Down syndrome and stuff, and they're breaking barriers and stuff. Mm-hmm. Or they're gay, they're trans, and it's so cool. It's so cool. No matter who you are, you can shine the light that you have inside you, because everyone does have light. So, you just gotta remind yourself that, if you have this vision, it's for a reason, and it might take time.
Yep. We get on the photography side, we get no's. We ask people like, hey, you know, we'd like to shoot this event, and they already have somebody or whatever. And sometimes it is discouraging to keep hearing the no, it's okay, or we don't want to pay you, or whatever. And sometimes you're like, this is stupid, why am I bothering? Like, I'm so frustrated. But you have to remember that if it was a no for a reason.
Yeah.
And maybe it was a no because that's just not the right fit. And, you know, you never know. And then you find places like us with Hands of Hope. I mean, with Hands of Hope, we've done a lot of amazing stuff with them, but we also met Sabi. So if we hadn't done the Hands of Hope thing, we wouldn't know her. Right. We wouldn't have got to do some photo shoots. There's a whole lot of things. So when the good stuff happens, it's almost like it just keeps leading to more good stuff.
Right.
So don't let the no's discourage you, because eventually that yes is going to come, and then more yeses and more yeses and more yeses, and it'll go on and on.
And it's the right yeses.
Yep.
And I think that's the key there. And whenever I think of it that way, it's like, oh, I got the right yes. I don't get discouraged when it's like no's. Like, I heard a quote, it was like, that rejection was God's protection, or something like that. You know, those quotes on Facebook and Instagram and stuff. Like, oh, I'm inspired. Like, keep scrolling. but yeah, so it's like, that's true, because so many things is weird out there in the art world. You know, or in every industry, there's so much, like, there's always good and evil always fighting each other. So it's like, I met some good people taking a chance in a moment. I really was discouraged when I found the ad for Hands of Hope. I was like, I'm going to go. I'm going to just take a shot. And yeah.
And the rest is history. So I think, you have anything else?
Who is your biggest inspiration in the modeling industry?
Ooh, I think for me, my modeling inspo is, I would say Naomi. Definitely, like, how could you not love Naomi? Like, because for one, she was like not the first of her time, but the way she did it, she had to be so fierce. Like, I know people say like, oh, she's a B word and things like that, but it's like, whenever you're like a barrier breaker, I guess that's the thing now. Ooh, we should make shirts.
Right? Hashtag barrier breaker.
Yes, it is. Yeah, but you have to kind of come on a little aggressive, because it's like people are trying to count you out. They're trying to tell you why, like, no, why you don't qualify. And then kind of like how people are already dealing with so much rejection, imposter syndrome and stuff. Like, so no, you gotta be fierce. Like, no, I do belong here. Don't try me.
Especially as a female. If you're a strong female, you're gonna get called all kinds of things.
Never.
Just think about with that Taylor Swift song, the Man song.
Oh, the new one?
Yeah.
Is that what it's called? Is that the name of it?
Yeah.
Basically, she, like, if you behave this way as a man, everything is great. If you behave the same way as a female, then people think you're a terrible person.
I need to listen to that song and blast it. I'll blast it on the way home. Like,
girl power.
With my sunroof down. Yes, sis.
So you definitely have to just have to do what feels good, you know, as long as you don't hurt anybody else. Yeah, and when I say that, I mean in terms of like your career and that kind of stuff. But if you want to get into modeling, again, I'm going to tell you, contact us if you're in the Tampa area. If you're outside of Tampa, definitely hit us up anyway. We love to travel. Maybe we'll bring Sabi with us. So
yes, I love to travel too.
Heck yeah. I think we're going to wrap up. I think that should be about everything for today.
Thank you so much for having me, y'all.
Yay, thank you for coming.
Thanks for watching, everyone.
Do tell us, though, on Instagram, if you see this video somewhere besides her Instagram, where can they find you on Instagram?
So it is that with a period, one with a period, goddess. And that's all. And if that's too complex, just look up Sabi Sweet with one eye.
One eye. Yes. So yeah, you can definitely find her on Instagram, and Miss Sabi over here has got some stuff in the works for later. So we'll be collabing on some stuff there, but she's also got a bunch of stuff that she's working on, so keep your eye on her, because this girl is moving and shaking.
Hot. She's hot.
For us, to find us on Instagram, if you're interested in modeling, it's going to be DLPS Models. That's our Instagram model page. We're also online. Website, you can find us at dlportraitstudios.com. That goes to all of our websites. And we also have multiple other Instagram pages. But if you go to the website, you'll find them on the pages. Alrighty. I guess that wraps it up. So thank you, everybody.
Ciao.
Bye.